All right, people, here we go. We are absolutely loaded here today on this December the 31st. That's right, get a load of this. December the 31st, final day of 2019. We are ushering in a brand new year. And before we get there, I do believe we've got 6, 7, 8, I don't know, I really haven't counted them, but there's going to be some NBA games here tonight, and what better way to bring in the new year than, of course, with some winners in the NBA, and we got the panel for you here as usual. To my left, right, really not sure how you're looking at this right now, but he is Mr. Hakeem Profit joining us, and, of course, Bryan Leonard here of WagerTalk.com, and below me, the Doc is in the house, Dr. Chuck RX Sports Memo, along with Rob Veno. And then there's a homeless guy that just showed up here on Skype. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Tony Finn. Hard to tell these days, but yes, Tony Finn, also of Wager Talk, joins us. Gentlemen, first things first, Happy New Year, guys. A very happy and safe New Year to all of you. May the winners be yours. So let's get that out of the way, all those pleasantries, because we all know how we really feel about each other. But NBA, guys, tonight, plays are up. Great way for you guys to be able to save a whole lot of money on New Year's in the NBA season with all of these guys on the panel. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But let's dive into some of these games here, guys. Let's get to it because I love the card here tonight. I know you guys obviously had a second to take a look at it. So I'll start with the Boston Celtics and the Doc's favorite Charlotte Hornets. In fact, I'm shocked he's not wearing a Charlotte Hornets jersey, the damn homer that he is. We are looking at 6.5 opening line for the Celtics on the road. It has been pushed up to 7.5. Total is getting pushed up too as well, 208 to 210. So, Ski, Happy New Year, brother. Let's start with you, man. Celtics Hornets here tonight. What do you like about this game?
Honestly, I thought this is one we might skip over. I know it's one of the earlier games, but I could look towards the Hornets if the Celtics were not off of a loss. I know that the Celtics will be without Jaylen Brown, and I know that will make a difference. But I think whenever Kemba Walker goes to play his old team, I think that the Celtics and Kemba Walker will get up for that game. They've already done it twice this year. They're 4-1 against the spread. The last 5 are Charlotte. They're playing well, hitting at like 66% over their last 18 games, 5-3-1 as a road favorite. So it would be Celtics or pass for me.
Good. Well, we'll pass right over it since it's probably already started since this show has started. So we'll move right on. Give me the Clippers here. I didn't realize it's at 3. It's 3 o'clock Sixers, 3 o'clock Celtics, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Give me the Clippers Kings here. Bryan Leonard, we'll go with you. Clippers 7-point favorites in this on the road in Sacramento. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, Patrick Beverley's not going to be playing tonight. Lou Williams, I hear one spot says he's going to be out till January 2nd, but I've also read a local newspaper says he's expected to start. So you have to go with that, dealing with who's in, who's out here. Clippers, one of those teams that a very much talented team. Obviously, the more talented team here going against Sacramento, a team that they are getting Fox back tonight. Fox is supposed to play. Obviously, the big guy is going to be out once again tonight for Sacramento. A lot of stuff going on with Sacramento right now. Some rumblings coming out of camp there. Don't really want Sacramento. I'd prefer the Clippers here, but the line's about what I made it, so I'll be passing on this game.
All right, Ski, talk to me, man. You the Clippers, it looks like no Lou Williams here. Beverly's going to be out. Montrezl Harrell looks like he's in, though. What do you like in this game?
This one, I want to look more towards I kind of disagree with everybody. I think a lot of people like the Clippers, and I don't really like them here. Looking at last 5 game stats, Sacramento's defense has been better. They're a better rebounding team. Offense has been better on the Clippers side, but they're going to be without some of that offense with Lou Will out, as you said. And it's another game back for De'Aaron Fox. I just think he starts to continue to get better. Kings already play good for competition. They're 11-3 against the spread versus 55% when teams are better. So I just think the Kings are going to start turning it around and winning some of these games, or at least covering. And I think it will start here tonight.
I love that. All right, Rob Veno, what do you think, man? Clips, Kings, can you trust the Kings? Fox is back. I don't know what the hell to make of them anymore.
Well, here's the first thing. I mean, I would lean towards the Clippers to play much better offensively in this game. Last game they played, they lose to the Utah Jazz. The combination of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George go 12 of 44 from the floor. That ain't happening again. 27% shooting from those two guys, whether Lou Williams plays, Patrick Beverley plays. Those two can carry a team. So I'd expect them to play much better offensively. Sacramento, last couple of games, allowed over 51% field goal percentage. Their last two starts, De'Aaron Fox, as Ski mentioned, did come back for the last game. And it's interesting, guys, the last time we were on, we talked a little bit about Buddy Hield and the fact that Buddy Hield had said that there were some trust issues going on with Sacramento. He had been benched in a fourth quarter. He had only played 4 minutes in the ensuing fourth quarter, a game that went overtime. But De'Aaron Fox came back, and Buddy Hield got his full 35 minutes back as shooting guard. So maybe things are beginning to patch themselves up there for Sacramento. We'll see. Marvin Bagley III, of course, as Brian said, not going to play here. But I just think that the Clippers, with the two big guns being so off last game, come back here. This is the start of about a 5-game stretch or a 6-game stretch where the Clippers could really make up some ground, guys. They play Sacramento, Detroit, Memphis, the Knicks, Golden State, two of your favorites right there, Joe, Denver, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, the only tough game upcoming is Denver, so a real good shot for the Clippers to make up some ground here. If I had to, I would play them. It's, the time, 5 o'clock Eastern start, 2 o'clock Pacific, sometimes can throw things out of whack. You're not so sure how these guys are going to show up, but if I had to play, I'd probably play Clippers.
All right, talk to me, Doc, here. You and Rob Veno, of course, at sportsmemo.com. What do you think here? Who do you like in this game? Sacramento, Clip, where are you leaning?
Well, so similar to what a couple of you guys say, I kind of see where Ski is coming from. It's just, is this the game that the Clippers want to get up for? And Rob said the start time is off. But the thing about the Kings is they're on a 7-game losing streak. They've also only covered one of those. And so, I mean, it is Fox is back, and that makes them better, maybe a little faster. Maybe everybody is a little happier. I think, with Bagley still out, I'm not sure how that affects them. Clippers coming off of a terrible shooting game. But I just don't – I think this line is about – Brian said it. I think this line's about right. And with the line being about right, I would definitely lean towards – the Clippers off of a loss, similar to what they were saying with the Celtics off of a loss. I mean, it's just not a ton of points to lay in a game where the Clippers played poorly last game, and the Kings, they got a cover, finally, but they still lost the game to the Nuggets, and so it's just, I don't think they're completely there yet, and Rob and I discussed last week that how do you go forward with the Kings in the state that they're in, and this wouldn't be the spot that I would hop on.
Tony Finn, how about you? You hopping on anything? You're a hopper? You like this game?
This time of the year, for the next couple of weeks, actually for the next month, for that part, make sure you check, all that are listening, check and make sure if there's any kind of a bug or when a bug hits a locker room, it typically hits a locker room. And it doesn't hit it just for 24 hours. It hits it for an extended period of time, sometimes as long as a week, because one guy's just has a little more tolerance, et cetera, et cetera. But the Clippers actually have been going through a little bit of the bug in their locker room. They suffered it the last game when they lost to Utah. And as Mr. V mentioned, George hasn't the shooting of George and Leonard was not very good. But George's in a 4-game slump. He's shooting about 30% over the last 4 games, in fact. So at some point he's supposed to break out. However, in this situation, short benched, if I knew exactly who was playing, who wasn't playing, then I'm more confident. But I would take Sacramento here, and I would play the under. If there's no Lou Williams, if the rest of these guys have any kind of a bug, I'm under the 220.
You're going under the 220. Love that.
Yep.
All right, let's talk Nuggets Rockets here. Brian, I'll start with you. Bryan Leonard, WagerTalk.com. Total hovering around that 222, 223 mark. Rockets a little bit of a favorite, 4.5. They've had some load management going on here over the last week. Doesn't seem really to matter all that much. They can still score. You like the Rockets at home against the Nuggets tonight?
I like the better defensive team, which would be the Nuggets here. The line open 2 is now up to 4, 4.5. I'm even seeing the 5 at Heritage. So the line's moving towards Houston here. It throws me off when you're going in rotation order there, buddy. I was all prepped for the other game.
Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that.
He does that to me. But, I'd prefer the Denver side. Again, Millsap's going to be out until after the beginning of the new year. Gary Harris is a game-time decision. But I always prefer the team that plays better defense. You've got a Houston team right now. Harden's a game-time decision. Capella the same way. So until I know that Harden's playing, which I would assume he is since the line has moved a little bit, but I still prefer defensive teams in that regard. And Houston's one of those clubs that they're just so inconsistent. It's hard to back them on a daily basis. So at the current information that I have, I'm leaning with Denver in this regard.
All right, didn't mean to screw him up out of position. Ski, do you need a minute, or are you all right here, brother? Can I throw Houston your way? Give me Houston, man. Houston, Denver. What do you want?
Well, one thing I want to mention, I was just looking it up. Clint Capella and James Harden, I mean, it says they're both probable. They both say they plan to play. Right. And on the Denver side, they're going to be without Paul Millsap. And Gary Harris got downgraded to questionable. He was probable. He got downgraded to questionable. So that's less defense on the Denver side. And Denver's already a team that I don't have a lot of confidence in on the road. The Rockets are just looking at Denver a little more, how they've been playing lately. They haven't been covering. They're 1-4-1 against the spread their last 6 games. First competition, they're 4-6 against the spread. Rockets, they do get up for competition. 7-3 versus 55% when teams are greater. 4-2 against the number their last 6 games. Harden and Westbrook should be in. Capella should be in. I'm looking at the Rockets, and I probably like them more so early because I know Denver can be a team that starts slow. So I would probably look at Rockets first half.
Okay, Rockets first half, loving that. Talk to me, Rob Veno. You going half in this game? Rockets, what do you think? Rockets or Nuggets here?
Yeah, I think, one thing to note is that Eric Gordon is now back in this lineup. Eric Gordon came back last game. That gives Houston extra offensive punch. That lengthens Houston's bench. Very important for the Houston Rockets, who have played with a short bench for a long time here. Like Brian said, you'd have to assume that Harden and Capella are going to go because of the line movement straight up. And I think that, because of the fact that it's a pretty big game in the Western Conference, those two guys probably do play. We know Westbrook didn't play last game. Harden didn't play last game. Capella didn't play last game. They get beat by the Pelicans by 15 points. Denver, interestingly enough, they're winning games, but they're not covering. Ski mentioned some bad ATS numbers out of the Houston Rockets. Let's mention a few out of the Denver Nuggets here. 9-1 straight up in their last 10, but 3-5-2 against the spread. And if you lengthen that out a little bit, they're 4-9 with 3 pushes in their last 16. So, only covering 4 games out of their last 16. Denver's not necessarily playing great basketball at this point in time. Enough to win, but not that great overall. I like the Rockets here, guys. I just think there's too many weapons. The injuries to Denver probably hurt them a little bit. I don't like to use NBA revenge, so I won't use that word. But the first time around, Denver wins this game at home, 105-95, which would put Houston in a position at home to defend their home turf here. So for me, I'd take the Rockets in this spot.
All right, he's going Rockets. Tony Finn, talk to me, my man. Where are you going here? Because apparently the only way I can get your ugly bug on the screen is by you talking. So talk to me. Rockets, Denver Nuggets.
I'm not going anywhere with this game. However, I was, when Ski said something about Harris being downgraded, I had gotten an email about 30 minutes ago that he was upgraded to probable. So unless something's changed, I'm going to recheck that. I don't know. I'll post it on my Twitter or something for our listeners. But too many question marks in this game for me. And Houston doesn't play. You guys, you've been very kind to the Rockets because they play no effing defense. None.
Zero. Doc, talk to me, man. What do you think? Who's playing D? Who's not? Where are you going in this game?
Interesting, because over the last 5 game stats, they play the same. They have the same defensive rating. Actually, the Nuggets, you feel like they're a defensive team, and I got tricked last game because it just seemed like the perfect spot. The Nuggets have been struggling to cover, and they get the Kings coming in who can't do anything right, and the line didn't seem that big, and then the Nuggets barely even survived that with a win at all. And one of the first times I was on this show, it happened to be these two teams playing, and it was in Denver, and Ski and I discussed a lot about how Capella was in, and it was just an easy play. It wasn't a big line. I think they were short favorites, maybe at -1 on the road in Denver, and Denver hadn't beaten them in, 12 or 13 times in a row, and usually they weren't close, and Denver won. And James Harden makes a lot of that difference in these games with the Nuggets, and I've already played the first half, like Ski said. I'm sure Joe's shocked, and it's only -2, -2.5, and the Nuggets definitely are not. I think they're about 6 and 7 against the spread on the road, and a lot of those are going to be favorites, and this time they're a dog. And I just think that if anything, that's going to be a pretty easy side to play with such a short line. But if I had to pick a side, I would pick the Rockets minus the 5 too.
Yep, over is hit the last 5 games here, and the Nuggets averaging 116 points a game. The defense hasn't been all that good either lately, giving up 110, at least 110 over the last 5. So we'll switch over right now. Brian, I just want to make sure I'm getting in rotation order. Would it be the Golden State Warriors, the GSs, taking on San Antonio? Would that be the next one in order?
They wouldn't, but we can do whatever you like.
Damn, I'm all over the map here. Well, then we're doing
You need to get a schedule, sir.
And you are up, my friend. Opened up at 9. I'm seeing 11 right now for San Antonio at home. All of a sudden, they've figured out how to play some basketball, but the total is creeping down here. 220, I'm seeing 217s, 216s and a half. What do you think, Golden State taking on the Spurs?
Are you calling on me on this one?
Go, Bri, go, man.
Of course you are. Let me find the pages,
Never
okay?
mind. Ski, you're up. Give Brian.
I'm ready.
Go ahead, Brian. What you got, brother? Go ahead.
The two teams playing pretty good ball right now. The Warriors have won 4 out of the last 5, but take a look at the injury reports here. You've got the 2 key players out for the Warriors for a while now, but you got 5 guys that are either out for this game or game time decisions. And you got the Spurs that are clean slate. Everybody's supposed to play. Line open 9's up to 11. I can see why the line moved up. I'm not a big fan of Golden State, but San Antonio's playing some pretty good ball now, probably the best ball of the season. I don't know how I want to lay 11, but I don't want any part of the Warriors right here.
All right, Ski, talk to me, man. It's I know it's the oh hell no Spurs, but I don't know. It's been a while, brother. Are you coming around on the hell no Spurs?
And I don't know if I have that title anymore. I took the Spurs the other day. I think the last game. So
we're moving on up. I love it, man. Talk
yeah, Golden State, as Brian mentioned, a couple of the key guys out. D'Angelo Russell. It's tough to back Golden State without him in the lineup. I just don't really want to look their way. Last 5 game stats tell me that Golden State's defense has been better and rebounding has been slightly better. But Spurs have been playing good ball as well. They're 5-1 against the number the last 6 games, and I mean, I think it continues. It's just I don't know if I'm ready to lay double digits. If gun to my head, I would lay the points with the Spurs just because I don't trust Golden State without Russell.
I don't trust them either there. So, Rob Veno, talk to me. You trust in the Spurs in this spot? Listen, they've been playing better basketball at least over the last week. Hell, even Mr. Hell No Ski Profit even took the San Antonio Spurs. So things are it is going to be a new year, Rob.
Yeah, I got under in this game, guys, when it was at 218. So that's where I stand on this one. The injury to D'Angelo Russell probably put me there. Golden State plays at a couple of different tempos when Russell is right and when Russell's not available. Last game against Dallas, good example, played that game over. That game hits 262 points. D'Angelo Russell, of course, leading the way. They can be quicker with him on the trigger, and in the half court and full court. Either way, they can be quicker when he's involved in the game. They have a lead guy for shot taking, helps them out a little bit. Now, Eric Paschall comes back tonight. He's been phenomenal, but more of a defensive player than, I know his offensive numbers have been good. I think it's more out of necessity than anything else, but he's definitely a better defensive player. The Warriors are 10-4 under the total, last 14. And, Greg Popovich doesn't have the tools to be the type of defensive team that he's always had in San Antonio, but he's still trying to preach defense. And, it's the interior defense that's been really weak for the Spurs, and Golden State doesn't necessarily affect you with their interior. I'm looking for a slower-paced game. Obviously, Kerr and Pop are best of friends. I don't know that I would want to lay 11 because I don't know that Pop would lay it on him here in this game. But I think under is the right way to go here. I think this is a good spot for San Antonio to be able to accomplish something defensively, and Golden State's more than likely going to try and slow the pace down in this game.
All right, so talk to me, Doc, here. You like the under? You agree with Rob here? Or, I don't know, man, are you gonna go out and side with Ski here? You going Spurs? The hell yeah Spurs. Are you going hell yeah Spurs?
No, but and maybe Tony will talk to this a little bit more because he lets us in on some of this interesting stuff with line movement. I'm pretty intrigued by this
Crabs and who doesn't on a team. Yes, absolutely. He's sure he's going to have that medical report.
Crabs in the under and who's nursing a
penicillin.
Who needs a shot of penicillin? The guy is just chock full of great info. Yes.
So I don't know if you're looking at the same numbers, but I'm seeing like roughly over 80 to 85% of the money is on the over. And it's reverse line moving the other way, which is not something that you would normally see, but pretty interesting because it doesn't have to just be quantities of money. It can just be smart money that might make a book move a line. But yeah, I mean, I guess it looks like it's dropped another point. Is it? Rob, you got it at 218 and it's 217 now, and I mean the money on the under is showing like 12%, I think.
Yeah, I'm seeing actually right now updated. I'm seeing 53% of the tickets, 85% of the money on the over right now. So that would certainly explain why the number is going the other way in a reverse aspect, because that's 47% of the tickets and 15% of the money on the under. So that 15%. I don't know, Finn. That must be some pretty important people.
Well,
the
book the one I trust the most, at least the book and the information I get shows that this really early this morning when they opened that number up, it dropped immediately a couple points. It looked like some movement, but it dropped down to 216.5, and it's slowly climbed back actually from 216.5, 217.5. Actually hit. Then it hit 218. It's probably when Mr. V got it, and then it's dropped a little bit more since. But this is going to close around 217. So.
Where are you going, Doc?
Similar to the Kerr angle, and I like Damian Lee and Robinson to get some of all those Russell plays, and I'd be on Warriors at 11 or bust. I mean, it's not a game I expect the Warriors to win, but yeah, with Pascal back. And limiting him down, and because the under seems like the play, I'm not really interested in bagging the Spurs even at home against the Warriors, no matter what they look like in a under game with double digits. Yeah.
All right. So talk to me, Finn. Where are you going, man? You following the money? What are you going to do here?
No, I'm. There's too many question marks in this game for me. I'm not. First off, I agree to a couple of the statements, and that is, I think eventually. Pop's good enough coach, and if you're a good enough player, you're gonna listen to him, and they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. I still think that this team misses the playoffs for the first team in 17 years. First time in 17 years. I think everyone agrees with that. But I'm not laying double digits with San Antonio. It was a great point with Kerr and Pop being buddies, because they are buddies, and very close. Not just a little bit, but very close. So one's not going to pour it on intentionally. It may just happen, but it's not going to happen that way. So I'm out.
He's out. Finn is out, and that brings us to another talk about another hell no ski team. Talk to me, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this is probably still not in order there, Bryan Leonard, so I apologize, but the Raptors are at home taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. I'm seeing 9s, 9.5s, totals of around 218. So, Bri, I'll start with you. You know Cleveland, man. Have you come around on Cleveland at all? Is this a team that you're starting to back a little bit here?
Yeah, Cleveland's playing a lot better ball. They didn't have anybody to protect the rim. Now they've got their big rim protector back, although he doesn't play a lot of minutes. But with Thompson and Love out there, if you got all three of the guys out there in the front court, Cleveland's a team that can compete. They're playing really good ball as of late. Winning 4 of the last 5. The only game they lost was that game to Boston. They just don't match up very well with Boston. Boston, a team that passes the ball around a lot. They're not very sticky, as they say, in their offense. Those are the kind of teams that seem to give Cleveland some trouble. But Cleveland's last time they played Toronto, in fact, the first 2 times they played Toronto, they were blown out. Last time they played them, they lose 133 to 113 on the 16th. But, there's certain teams that match up pretty well and certain teams that they don't. Well, Toronto's got some injuries in this one. It's one of the teams that you need to be concerned about tonight because of the Toronto injuries. And let me get to that in my notes here. You got a bunch of guys, Gasol, Siakam are supposed to be out tonight. Powell's supposed to be out. So you got a shorthanded Toronto team. And you've got a Cleveland team that should be coming in pretty healthy here. There's also news. It's a little bit off the radar, but there's some news that Toronto's interested in Kevin Love.
Yeah.
and Kevin Love coming up to play Toronto. Nothing against the city of Toronto, but if Kevin wants to get out of Cleveland, you could expect a good game from him. Last time they played, he was a major fixture in the first half of the game, so they've been feeding Kevin Love lately. And going up against Toronto here, I like this Cleveland team in this game. They haven't matched up very well with Toronto, but with the injuries Toronto's got right now, Siakam, I believe, had 33 points last time they played him. He's not even going to be there tonight. So they've got some advantages there. From a guard standpoint, this is not a good matchup for either team, as both guards on both teams are pretty fast. And so I could see a lot of points being scored in that regard. So I like Cleveland, like the over here. Haven't decided on which one I'm going to place my major bet on. But I think Cleveland can match up pretty well with Toronto for tonight.
Hey, Ski, the Cavs 11-4-1 against the number of the last 16 between these two teams. Are you making it 2 for 2? Are they now the hell yes Cleveland Cavaliers?
I'm not going to say hell yes, but I'm not saying hell no anymore. I'll give them that.
We're moving. Baby steps, brother. Baby steps.
Yeah, you got to crawl before you walk. As Brian said, it's injuries on that side. I don't like Norman Powell out for the Raptors. Another thing, Raptors played the Heat next, and just looking at last 5 game stats, Cleveland's been better all the way down the board. Offense has been better. Defense has been better. They're the best rebounding team over the last 5 games in the league. I would have to take the points with Cleveland. I think it's too many versus a short-handed Raptors team.
I like that. Rob, I know he's counting his money from the Kentucky win over Va-Tech here, so I got to ask you, brother, are you taking that money, putting it down on Cleveland? Do you like this game? Is it too many points?
Yeah, did you see that touchdown sign go up when I had the last play of the game? Another one of those lateral jobs that ended up in a defensive touchdown to kind of cement it for Kentucky. But that's a good start to the day. I'm with the second point that Brian made because I'm on over here, 218.5, for a fundamental reason. Toronto's second in the NBA in fast break points. They love to fast break. It's a key to their offense. And Cleveland's the 3rd worst team in the NBA in turning it over. As much as I like, and I mentioned it last time I was on, Sexton and Garland, like that backcourt, I think in years to come they're going to be very, very good. But they are turnover prone. And there's games where these two guys can turn it over 6 times each. And against Toronto, somebody hit on the 133-113 final in the previous game. I think that goes to speak of the matchup here. Toronto's likely to get their chances because of Cleveland's sloppiness. I think with Kevin Love back in the lineup tonight, he's going to play. At least I saw him listed as probable. I think he was out last game. Cleveland becomes a much better offensive team and maybe even a partially weaker defensive team with Kevin Love in the ball game. So I just 218.5 looks small to me. I played it up and over. Think the fundamental matchup's right. That's the way I'm going to go here.
Finn, talk to me, my man. What are you doing here? Is it too many points? Is there value lying either in the total or the side here?
Don't be surprised if Kevin Love doesn't play. The rumors that you guys spoke of are absolutely true. There's an interest in Love, and I wouldn't be. This hip injury is not 100%. And in truth, this is too many points for Toronto to be laying with the injuries they have. That's exactly why you lay them. I'll take Toronto.
Yeah, listen, 11-4-1 in the last 16, Doc, against the number. Cleveland has been undervalued against this team, and they've come through.
Well, yeah, and raise your hand if you're on this panel and you had the Cavs ever at any point winning 4 out of 5 games. And this season, not against the spread.
I know Ski didn't, but it's probably Leonard. Leonard's the one who's backing him, damn it. He's got his posters and everything. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, we got our LeBron on the wall here too. But but it's interesting. Rob brought it up, I think, with the turnovers. Even though the Cavs have won 4 or 5, they're turning it over every 5th possession. And they're playing better defense, and I think this is too many points. So Tony brought it up, it's too many points. So if Kevin Love is even less than probable, I wouldn't be on this, but definitely the Cavs is the only side to go because it's just a spot thing. I mean, the Raptors do match up well with the Cavs, it seems, because they do seem to beat them by 20 when they probably shouldn't have, but they were healthy then.
Right. And
it's just, even Powell, no Siakam, no Gasol, no Powell, the Celtics twice, and then the Thunder, the Heat next. They don't have a game tomorrow, so they probably get to have pretty fun New Year's Eve with Drake tonight. that they're probably looking forward to. And it's hard to say they're invested for 48 minutes of this game against the Cavs. And 9 points is a lot.
All right, take the damn points. The value is. So we'll go rapid fire here. Finn, I'll start with you. Mavericks, Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that you have not necessarily been all that impressed with here, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mavericks open up as a 1.5 favorite on the road. That's been pushed up to 3.5. The total creeping up there as well. Who's got chlamydia on this team?
I'm not sure, but from what the email and the information I have, the intel is that Hardaway and Donskoy will play in this game, and Oklahoma City has some issues. So they have if they don't have their shooting forward and they don't have their backcourt in place, it's a pretty good number, I think, for Dallas. Dallas has been the best. They've been their best as a visitor. You take Dallas and lay the 3.5 if Oklahoma City has his personnel issues as what I'm showing, and that's Gallinari not playing. That really, he's the guy. I'm more concerned with Gallinari than I am with Schroeder. So
you're more Gallinari's more the thing, but hop on to 3.5. You trust him more on the road anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, Brian, what do you think? You trust Dallas on the road a little bit more in this spot?
I'm going to look at it a different way here, and I agree with what Tony was saying with the injuries and all, but I try to put myself in a position of the players when I'm looking at these games, and you've got a Dallas team who's playing their third game in 4 nights. Then they're coming home and playing their longest home streak of the season. They got 6 straight games at home. It's New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. They're in Oklahoma City. It's sort of like being in Sacramento for New Year's Eve. I don't believe anybody wants to be there. So I'm assuming the players are going to be leaving back to Dallas as soon as this game ends. So you've got a team, 3 games in 4 nights, playing a game they want to get the hell out of there, get home, and spend some time with some loved ones tonight. If I could find out that one of those 2 players from Oklahoma City are going to be in the lineup, I think I'll play the home underdog there. But from a scheduling standpoint, it's not a good one for Dallas.
Love that. Ski Nafra, I think he's underestimated. There's a lot of future baby mamas in OKC, man. A lot of women, a lot of future baby mamas. They can hang out there on New Year's. Talk to me, Ski. What do you think here? Is Dallas, is it a bad spot for Dallas?
I do agree that it could be a bad spot. When I look at the numbers, just straight at the numbers, everything screams Dallas to me. 6-1 as a road favorite. After a loss, they're 8-2 against the number. Last 5 games, that's offense, defense, rebounding. They've been better all the way down. Tim Hardaway Jr. will be out in this game, as what I have.
Yep.
He's out, and Luka will be in, I think, or probable, but it's tough. I think I would like Dallas probably more so on the first half if I'm taking them. And if I like OKC, I probably would look more towards the full game.
Interesting. Rob Veno, listen, there's a reason to like Dallas on the road. 19-6-1 against the number in the last 26 away from that concrete jungle in Dallas, man. Are you buying them in this spot at 3.5?
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, Tony has said it a few times, during this show that there's too many questions. And the injuries on each side are really what throw you into a little bit of a quandary. The NBA is what it is. You almost have to wait till 30 minutes or 15 minutes before tip before you can make a true decision. But I would be more inclined after the embarrassment in Los Angeles the other day where Luka was really shut down. I mean, the LA defense took it upon themselves to make sure that Luka Doncic did not do any damage in that game, and he didn't. I would expect a pretty good response out of him in this game. He's the best player on the floor by far. He and Porzingis are the best duo on the floor. So from that standpoint, I'd probably look towards Dallas. But if Oklahoma City has their full complement of players, to me, they've played pretty well the last month. I've seen them definitely involved, at least power ratings-wise. They've gone up. So it would be tough for me to go ahead and lay this type of price with the road favorite if, in fact, everybody goes for OKC. I'll just have to wait to see what happens. There's no previous history to go on here with these 2 teams this season. It'll be the first meeting of the year, so that makes it a little tough as well.
It's interesting, and Doc, listen, I mean, to his point there, Dallas, 15-5-2 against the number in its last 22 following a loss. And it's interesting. They've kind of owned this, too. 23-11-1 against the number in their last 35 at Oklahoma City. Is it enough to make you put money down on Dallas?
Yeah, a couple of things I like, too, and been mentioned kind of to that point. The Mavs as road chalk are 6-1, straight up and against the spread, with the one loss at Madison Square Garden, which is kind of inexplicable. But I think it's just more they got surprised, came in there a little complacent, and it's not that the Mavs aren't quite to the point where they're going to be road chalk against the really good teams yet. So you're not getting a bunch of good teams, but the Knicks are pretty bad. The Mavs in the first half on the road are 13-3 against the spread, and it's really good when you can get it at like a point or two. And so that's probably going to be tonight. Plus, to Brian's point, I like the first half even more in case they get a little, tired. They come out hot. They don't have Hardaway, not as deep, and the Thunder kind of slowly chip away at it, and they're ready to get out of town. I wouldn't be taking anything on the full game in this, but that first half spread is just going to probably be something that you'll hear later. So.
All right, guys. Now, before we go around the horn here, best bets for tonight, I do, on behalf of the entire crew, want to wish you guys a very safe and happy New Year. Of course, we'll be back at it here on Thursday, getting it going. But before Brian is going to need a few minutes, I'm sure, to look through 14 pounds of paper to find his play here, because I want to give him enough leeway to do that. In the meantime, I want to let you know, guys, right now, for the new year, a great opportunity over at not only sportsmemo.com, but WagerTalk.com. And again, the Doc and Rob here at sportsmemo.com, as well as Finn, Leonard, you got Ski, all at WagerTalk.com. The entire season of the NBA right now, and you've just had an opportunity to hear from each and every one of these guys break down games. Those of you that are new, welcome in. Those of you that have been here, you know what these guys, they bring it. If you want to be profitable in the NBA this year, this is the gang that you want. Normally $8.99, guys. Right now, through the end of the week here, in celebration of the new year, $5.99. You can pick any one of them, multiple, whatever you want to do. Just $5.99 for every one of these guys here. Just pick who you want. Use the code NBA $5.99 at checkout and get the entire season right through the finals of the NBA for that discount. Turns out to be $99 a week, guys, through the end of the season. It does not get any better than that. So right now, take advantage. Sorry, $99 a month is what it is through the finals. So $5.99 the code. NBA $5.99, WagerTalk.com, as well as SportsMemo.com. Utilize the knowledge here, guys. It's amazing. Bryan Leonard, talk to me. I'm sure you found your play. Give me your best bet here, brother.
I'm going to go with my hometown Cleveland Cavaliers. I just think it's a good spot for them. I like the over also. Be a nice parlay if you're a parlay player, but I like Cleveland. I think it's too many points.
All right, too many damn points there. Talk to me, Ski. Where you going here, brother, man?
Well, I'm assuming we're just gonna do the best bets. So
if you got a dog, throw it out. Whatever you got, man, throw it out for us.
I'm gonna roll with the dog as my best bet. I'm rolling against everybody else, and I'll go with the Kings plus 7 points. I think that they can keep it close. I think they can keep it close, at least in this game, without Lou Will, without Pat Bev, and De'Aaron Fox just getting another game under his belt. I think they'll get better now.
All right, so he's going. I love that. All right, so talk to me here, Tony, Finn, best bet here, brother. What are you looking at?
I don't like much to know. I mean, I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to jump head first without looking. So I'm going to pick a game where I'm actually jumping without looking. And that would be, I'm going to take the over in this Golden State. Not in the Golden State. I'm sorry, in the Denver and Houston game. Denver's deep. If Harris, they're deep enough that Porter and Grant can fill in adequately. Houston plays no defense. If they are whole and their backcourt's whole and their rotation are good, then I think not only is 223 a fair number, I think it's a steal.
Oh, love that. All right, talk to me, Rob Veno, my man. Talk to me. Best bet of the night. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'll hitch up onto Brian's wagon there and just compliment the side play with the total. I think the Cleveland-Toronto game gets over 218.5 here. We pretty much covered a lot of the reasons why, but I'll add one more to it. Both of these teams are off of extremely poor offensive performances. You know, Cleveland had shot better than 50% in 3 of their last 4. Last game, they go down and only score 94 points. They only shoot 41%. And as for Toronto, they had a down game as well, did not hit 100 points. So I think that's going to change here. A little bounce back as far as offense is concerned. plus the other reasons that I cited earlier, the fast break nature of the Raptors and the turnover-prone Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love back certainly helps the offense. And 246 the first time, guys. I can't see this thing being 29 points different this time around.
All right. Shits and giggles time, guys. And you know what? I'm going with the two guys here next to me. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to go with the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to follow both of these guys. And you know what? Hell, give me the damn Denver Nuggets, too. Give me a three-teamer, shits and giggles, moneyline parlay. You got it. We are ready to rock and roll, guys, into the new year. Tony Finn, Bryan Leonard, Ski Profit. You got the doc. You got Rob. SportsMemo.com. Also WagerTalk.com, guys. NBA $5.99 at checkout. Get the entire season, guys. The whole season is yours through the finals simply by taking advantage now through the end of the week. So, gentlemen, appreciate the time as always. Have a safe and happy new year. We'll do this again on Thursday. So, good luck with the plays, even you, Tony Finn.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you. Appreciate that. Happy New Year, guys. Be good. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
Happy New Year, men.
Ciao.